Right, I've been asked by a few people, how do we know where to go? So I thought I would demonstrate using the Biscay crossing, because you've got a huge body of water and you're not going to see land for a long time. So in that amount of water, how do we know where to go? Because it's relatively easy when you're sailing along the coast and you can see the land and what have you. So I thought I'd demonstrate, and I thought I'd do it the old-fashioned way to show you on the big charts, like the long way round, and then I'll show you on the chart plotter the sort of easier way around and what we do as well. So first thing is, I've got a big map here of the whole of Biscay. You have a bit like your road atlases, you get different versions for different parts where you are. So what I've lined up, because none of these rulers are actually long enough, so what I've done is I've just lined up the rulers. So we started from the Bay of Biscay crossing here on Ile-de-Yeu, and we were going to Gijon over here in Spain. So the way you calculate how you're going to go from there to there is, there's a special ruler. First of all, I don't want to get too much into this, but there's a special ruler to calculate it the long way, and you basically stick one end of the ruler on your starting point, so Ile-de-Yeu, and you point it towards Gijon. Now I had to use this one just to make sure I was lined up properly, as a bit of an extension. But basically that is my line that we're going to try and sail down here, direct route to Gijon. And then what you do is, this section has a twirly bit on it, a rotating piece. So you line these grids up with north. So all the maps have got grid markings on them. So you line these up so that they sit parallel and in line with all the north longitude lines. And then over here at this arrow, where this arrow's now pointing, tells you what compass direction you'll be following. So there's 210 and there's 220, and it's just before 220, so we're going to say about 218. So that is the compass number that once you're up on deck, and in fact I think I need to go and show you up on deck as well, just so it makes a bit more sense. That is the line and direction that you're going to follow while you're out at sea. Now, that's all fine in the middle of the sea, and what you then have to work out is where the wind's coming from for your journey. So we were expecting the wind to be coming in this way on a northeast direction. So the wind is coming in, sorry, not northeast. This is why Stuart goes mad at me, because I get all my directions and everything muddled up. So we were expecting the wind to be coming in from the northwest across here, and that's going to hit that side of the boat, which means it's nice and straightforward sailing. What we'll have a quick look at now is how you do the route on the computer. Now what I've had to do is actually do it on the laptop computer, because the live navigation system is currently working for us, and I can't just scrap what we're doing there to put this in to demonstrate it, otherwise the boat will start going doolally thinking it's going back up to Spain. So if we move to the computer screen, now the program, it's an excellent program that most sailors use, called Navionics. So this is just on their website, and what we've done is we've popped the pin in here, which is Ile-de-Yeu, where we started from, and we've got it down here in Gijon, which is the place, you know, your end destination, and it has calculated, yes, in kilometres, I'm not interested in that, but the heading is 217. So that is the line that we're going to be following on the compass, 217. And I'm going to show you now on the compass upstairs on deck what that actually looks like. Now what we then do is, once we've sort of had a look at this before we set off, we then program this into the navionics system on board, the, you know, the computerized GPS system, and we can set the boat up and to go on autopilot to follow exactly that course. So that's what the autopilot's all about. It knows, you tell it what heading to follow, and that's how the autopilot works. So we'll go and have a look at the compass. Right, here's the compass on deck. So that 217 that we've just talked about downstairs, get my hand out the way, that would be round here. So that is the number and the direction we'd be following. So once you're happy with your route, what you then do is program it into the ship's computer, and that then sets the course and tells you which course you're on down here. So this is what the autopilot's following, and then this other number here is just sometimes with the tide or the currents you can slightly drift off course, so you have to monitor that number as well, and the ship then takes you along this sort of this imaginary line towards your destination. So that's how roughly, and quite, you know, I'm trying to do it as simply as possible, how we know where to go when we're at sea.